All right, everybody. Normally, I don't comment about world events, but I thought I'd offer my opinion. As you guys have probably heard, Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck and killed at an event today. And I honestly have to say, folks, I saw this coming a long time ago. I've talked about it on my live stream about these polemists, these political pundits, the Nick Fuenteses, the Sean Hannitys, the Rachel Maddows, the Anderson Coopers, the Black Lives Matter activists, and all these other people that fan the flames, get people angry and upset just in order to make money, in other words. Regardless, as far as the whether you agreed or disagreed with Charlie Kirk, and you know, I've heard a lot of his speeches. I've seen him on TV and see the stuff that came out of his mouth and stuff like that. And he was very eloquent. He was a great speaker and everything. He made millions of dollars, three multi-million dollar houses and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, folks, sometimes, and it happens unfortunately too often, that someone just wakes up and chooses violence. And they decide that today they're going to go after someone that they hate most. So, like I said, there are millions of people in the United States. All it takes is just one person that is so pissed off that they go and decide to take action. They decide to wake up and choose violence. That day came from Charlie Kirk. Like I said before, the people, the Ben Crowders, the Nick Fuenteses, the Rachel Maddows, all these other pundits, these BLM activists and stuff that go and just, they try to polarize, knowing good and well that half of the stuff that comes out of their mouths is just pure nonsense. They just simply do it for money. Now, the great one, myself, whenever I'm doing my live streams, most of my stuff is for comedic purposes there. And at the same time, I try to give you guys advice as far as life is concerned. And you got to remember, folks, in life itself there, you do have to weigh your words, but you have to understand that with those words comes responsibilities here. Now, we do live in a First Amendment society, but at the same time, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. And, you earn what you earn in life. A lot of things that I've said, I've gotten doxxed for, you know. But that's the risk that I take whenever I do live streams and when I speak. And whenever I do live streams, I may get static for even this video that I'm making. But I accept that. Charlie Kirk accepted it, and all these other people accepted it. But I think some people just had complete ignorance as far as to the consequences of it there, literally speaking. Whenever I worked as a corrections officer, I understood the risks that were in place there. And I think the problem with some of these pundits is they think that, well, because of the First Amendment and stuff like that, and all I'm saying is words, nothing's going to ever happen to me. And history has time and time again shown that that is simply not the case there. It simply isn't. But folks, let this be a lesson to any of these other pundits here, because I'll tell you right now, all those people that I mentioned, they better get some security. All right? Because it looks like the natives have gotten restless there. And they are restless no longer.